I grew up in a community where people don't just dream. They dream and they do their best to actualize those dreams. They just don't give up where I come from. You see, the issue of bribery and corruption in our educational system is something nobody is saying anything about. Our mothers grew up and said nothing about it. Our fathers grew up and said nothing about it. We have successful fathers and successful mothers at high places who could talk about it, but nobody is saying anything. But yet the youths are dying. The youths are suffering. The youths are being affected daily, yearly, because of bribery in the educational system. I am actually a victim of bribery and corruption. I remember when I wrote and said, succeeded the written phase, went for orals, did it well, and because I didn't cooperate, I failed. For those of you who know me personally, I'm the kind of guy who do not fail easily, especially when it comes to exams I'm prepared for. If you're a student, you know how corrupt the environment is. Most students in the university are aware of this. Sometimes they have to contemplate whether or not to cooperate with the system so they can be successful. How can we think that silent treatment is the best solution to the corrupt system that we have when it comes to concours or competitive exams in our country? Nobody is saying anything. I personally do not believe that the ministers are not aware. What is bribery? Bribery is actually illegal payments or bribes to people in official positions as a means of influencing their decisions. The law terms bribery as either offering, paying, or receiving. So whether you're paying in or you're receiving, you've participated and you're part of it. In our educational system, those in authority have totally closed their eyes when it comes to bribery. We know very well that yearly, before concours or competitive exams are being written, there are some certain people or certain persons who have already been regarded as successful candidates, whether or not they participate in the exams. And you and I, the poor masses, we spend our money yearly registering for these concours, buying fiscal stamps, satisfying documents. In a year, if you want to write a concours, I believe you spent averagely 50,000. That is money you can start a small business with. We practically waste our money in something we know that eventually we are not going to succeed in. I know people who actually left high school. They hawked for 3 years, finally put together all the money they needed, went and paid and succeeded. Today they are teachers. You know how bribery and corruption in the school system has affected our educational system. If you have been in high school, especially technical high schools, you will understand that there are a lot of teachers who are not knowledgeable enough to teach. How do you think they got in there? You think it's knowledge that took them? No, it's money that took them. It is time for the young people to understand, especially the naive ones, that success in our educational system at some levels is paid for. Do you know why bribery is bad? Bribery is bad because the government says it is. Bribery is bad because the law says it is. If bribery was legalized, nobody will have a problem with it. If the law says that you're supposed to pay before you succeed exams, nobody will have a problem with it. But for some of us who are Christians and who do not consider compromise as an option when it comes to doing the right thing, we face a challenge in succeeding in this kind of a system. I'm somebody who intended to become a teacher because I love transferring knowledge. But practically, I'm not going to leave that passion. Why? Because I cannot compromise my beliefs. I just wish all the young people can hear me out. I wish every young person will understand that if you want to fetch water and you can't find it at the first tap, it is wise for you to move to the next tap and not stay at that first tap forever. I don't like giving up. Besides, it's not one of my characters. But I like giving up on some certain things. I want you to understand that If you cannot fight the system, if you cannot talk about it, if you cannot cry out, if you cannot speak out, and if you cannot cooperate with the system, avoid the system. It is wise. Avoid the system. If you cannot complain, you cannot say anything about it, and you think if you're going to say anything about it, you're going to die or you're going to be jailed or something, then avoid the system. I want to advise you, if you do not have the money to pay and you want to write, be aware that success might just not be for you. Sometimes you have to face the reality. I know there are exceptional cases, all right? I am not refusing that they aren't exceptional cases. They are. But how many do you know? Maybe some of those who you think are exceptional cases are people who gain access without their personal knowledge. If you're hearing me out and you're a father and you're a mother and you know that you're in a position where you can do something and you're not doing anything, I want to tell you that you're not helping this country and you're not helping the community, especially the community where you come from. Do you know why? It's not only about your own children in your household. It's also about the community. It's not only about your present children. It's also about your whole generation. The truth is, if you use the wrong way to go up and you are up, it will be very difficult for you to change. Corruption starts with us. Bribery starts with us. It starts with you and I. We cheat people and we know how it affects the people. Everything starts with us. It starts with our families. The same way we bring up our children, the same way we buy success for our children, is the same way our children are going to buy success for their own children. And corruption will never come to an end if we continue to do that. You know, some of you who are well-to-do, you don't suffer from this thing because you have the money to pay. But for those people out there, the poor masses who have nothing else but their good brains and the content they possess, the knowledge they possess that they can share with the educational system and make our communities better and make our cities better, they are deprived. Our fathers and mothers in high places have intentionally decided to be selfish because it is not only about them, it is about the poor masses. I will not ask you to give up on your dreams. I will ask you to keep your values. Our actions should not be defined by our circumstances, but by our values and principles. If you know how they succeed in your country and you cannot follow the path to succeed, try other paths. Besides, who said you must work for the government? If you are truly intelligent and smart, if you are truly gifted, talented, then you should be creative. Create something for yourself. Be your own boss. If the system refuses to make good use of you, make good use of yourself. Self-employment sometimes is the best way out. Some people were born in the right time. They decided to make things wrong. You and I are born in the wrong time. Let us make things right. Don't expect a Mandela to fall from heaven. It starts with you and I. Begin to talk about it. Silent treatment will not solve it. If you are not comfortable with it, talk about it. Let your parents understand that you are dying. Because actually, if there is no future for you, there is no future for the community. And as well, there is no future for the country. If you're a young person, don't just see your education as a means of having a job or being employed somewhere. See your education as a means of equipping yourself, informing yourself to be creative in one thing or the other. Don't give up on your dreams. But most importantly, don't give up on trying everything. Stick to reality. If you are digging a well and you meet a rock, it is wise to dig elsewhere. I know you all long for change, especially in the educational system. Whether you're still in high school, you wonder how your future will look like. Whether you are in the university when your mates are talking, planning, You don't have anything to say. You're just thinking and you're depressed because you don't have the way forward. If we want to change the world, change our environment, change the system, change our society, it all starts with us. If you want to see a clean community, clean your yard. If you want your voice to be heard, start by sharing this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you were blessed by those words. Please subscribe to my channel, turn on the notification bell so that whenever I upload videos like this, you get to watch. Also do well to share, to like, and to comment. Follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, and on Twitter. Watch other videos here, subscribe here. Thank you very much. See you next time.